This is the AMS Show.
Hi, I'm Jackson Caliham, and this is the AMS Show. Today, our guest is Lindsay Lofaro, who is the Executive Director of the Buddy Program. Thank you so much for being on the show, Lindsay.
Thanks for having me.
What is the mission of the Buddy Program?
Sure. The mission of the Buddy Program is to empower youth through mentoring experiences so that they can achieve their full potential.
Cool. Can you tell us about the history of the program?
Sure. So in 1973, a gentleman named Greg Anderson was working for the local mental health clinic, and he had been a big brother in college through Big Brothers Big Sisters. And a lot of the clients he was seeing here in Aspen were single moms raising young boys. And so he had the idea to start matching some of his friends with these young boys to act as mentors. That was a long time ago, and over the years the program has changed. We officially became a nonprofit in 1989, and then we started serving youth in Basalt and El Jebel in 1994. And in 2010, we started serving kids in Carbondale. So we've been slowly expanding and growing the program over the years, and that includes adding some of the programs that we will talk more about today.
Do you have anywhere else that you would like to expand it, or any other places?
That's a great question. So we're really thinking about Glenwood and what the needs are in Glenwood for kids and how we can support that community as well, and looking at some ways that we could do that.
Where does the Buddy Program operate in the Valley?
Right. So right now we have programs from Aspen to Carbondale. We got a small grant to do some programming in Rifle a couple years ago, so we do have a small part of our program in Rifle.
How does the Buddy Program connect mentors and children?
Great question. So we get referrals for kids from either their parents or the school might refer a kid to us. Sometimes kids walk into our office and say, I want to have a big buddy. So we look at, kids come to us through all sorts of different ways, and we get to know the child and their parents and understand what the needs are in their family and why the child wants to have a big buddy. And at the same time, we are looking for big buddies to come into our program, and we're getting to know those big buddies and making sure that they're safe and appropriate adults to match with kids. And then we make a match depending on the common interests. So if the big buddy loves to ski and the little buddy only likes to read and play video games, it might not be a good match. But usually it's pretty easy to match kids up because they're usually pretty open to things. And we want our big buddies open to trying new things too.
Cool. And what are the most commonly when do the children usually come in for? Like, do they come in, or do you ask them, or how does that?
Usually kids are referred by somebody at school who thinks that they could really benefit from having an extra caring adult in their life.
Cool. Why is a mentor or a big buddy so important in a child's life?
Yeah, well, I think that it's important for us all to have connections to people in our lives who really care about us. And a lot of families in the Roaring Fork Valley are working really hard to make a good living here in the Valley. And we know it's an expensive place to live, so some parents might have 2 or 3 jobs. They might be commuting long hours or working long hours. And so to give their child an extra caring adult in their life is just a really positive thing. We know that every child can benefit from having a mentor, and that's always been our philosophy.
Cool. What traits do you look for in a big buddy?
So our big buddies really don't have to have any special skills, but we ask that they are caring, consistent adults who can show up week to week to spend time with their little buddy. We know that consistency is one of the most important things that they can bring to a relationship when building a relationship with a child.
How much time do big buddies spend with their little buddies?
So we ask a big buddy to give a 1-year commitment to spending with their little buddy, but on average we're seeing our matches last just over 3 years, and the national average is less than 2 years. So we're really excited that our buddy pairs are staying together a long time. Throughout the year we ask that they see each other 3 to 4 times a month, and usually that works out to about an hour a week is what our mentors are spending with kids.
Cool. Can you tell us about the types of activities the big buddies and the little buddies do?
Sure. So in our community-based program, the big and little buddies can spend time on the weekends or after school with each other, and it's really up to them to decide what activities they might want to try. It could range from taking the big buddy's dog for a walk to going to the art museum or the library, going skiing, and then additionally the buddy program provides over 40 activities and opportunities. So every now and then we'll have tickets to the ballet if they want to go see a ballet, or tickets to the Glenwood Caverns so they can go. And then we also do group activities. We just had a pottery making activity last week, and we went to the X Games at the end of January with the big group. And then in a couple weeks we'll have our annual ski day happening too.
Sounds like fun.
It is.
What is the school-based mentoring program?
So in addition to our community-based mentoring program where adults and kids get together outside of school, we also have a program where adults can go into the school and meet with their little buddy there. Sometimes that works better for an adult schedule who may work full-time and have their own family, but they have an hour at lunch that they can go spend with a child. And sometimes that works out better for the child and the family too.
Can you tell us about the peer-to-peer buddies at the Aspen School District?
Yes. So we also have a program where we have high school kids mentoring elementary school kids at Aspen Elementary. And just this year we shifted that, so it's now happening after school on Wednesdays because everybody gets out of school a little bit earlier. And they meet for an hour once a week with their big buddy, but everybody meets in the same space at one time. And we do a lot of activities with those guys. I think yesterday they were making Valentines, they've been sledding, there might be some bingo coming up. So it's a fun way for the kids to connect with a high school buddy, maybe while they're waiting for an adult mentor, or maybe just as a way to have another caring person in their life.
Cool. The LAAD program sounds like really interesting. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. So our LEAD program stands for Leadership Through Education, Action, and Discovery. And that is a program that started about 10 years ago. We were seeing that some of our older kids were slowly outgrowing having a big buddy, and they wanted to have other ways to connect with mentors. And so what we did was we formed what we call an outdoor leadership class. And we have a class at Aspen Middle School, and then also in Basalt and Carbondale and Rifle schools, where there's a high school program and a middle school program. And the kids meet throughout the week or throughout the month as a group with their mentor, who is one of our staff members. And then they do backcountry trips. So I know the 6th graders at Aspen Middle School are getting ready to go on a hut trip.
Yeah.
And in April, we'll take a group of Aspen Middle School kids on a hut trip as well. In the fall, they do a backpacking trip, usually in Fruta or in Dinosaur National Park. And so it's just a way to get kids not only exposed to the outdoors, but working in a team setting and having that mentor working with them to really make good choices and healthy decisions, but doing it in a fun backcountry way.
Cool. If someone wants to volunteer and become a big buddy, what is the process?
Yes, so we are always looking for big buddy mentors from Aspen to Carbondale, and we ask that they, if they're interested, they can contact us, and we will have a one-on-one meeting with them to find out their interest, and we can tell them more about the different programs we have and how they can get involved. And then they fill out an application, and then they do a screening process, which includes coming and having an interview with our staff. And then we do background checks to make sure that they're safe and they are good people to match with kids. We also do phone references to make sure that other people in their life know that they're going through this process and give us feedback. And then they come to a training, which is 3 hours long, and then they get matched. So it's a long process, but we do that intentionally so that we know that the volunteers are really committed to the process and will be committed to the youth that they're going to be working with.
Can you tell us about the fundraising the Big Buddy program does?
Yeah. So in order for us to have staff and have all these fun activities to work with our kids, we need to raise money. So throughout the year, we well, really summer is our big fundraising season. We do the race on the 4th of July. It's a 5-mile race, and it starts at Rio Grande Park. And that's been a tradition that's been happening for over 35 years. And it's just a great community event, and it's a great fundraiser for the Buddy program. And then in July, we also have a big party up at Boogie Wineglasses Ranch in Aspen, where we have a silent auction and a live auction, and we raise a lot of money to support the organization. And then in December, we do a really fun activity called Gingerbread House Workshop. And it's a way for the Big and Little Buddies to come participate and make gingerbread houses together. And we ask businesses and individuals to sponsor the event.
Cool. Do you have any specific goals for the Buddy program in the future?
Yeah, so we're really looking, like I mentioned, at where we can take our services and programs to new communities and help more kids. We're also looking at ways to get our message and to tell people more about what we do. So coming on the AMS show is a great opportunity for that. But also how we can let more people know about the importance of mentoring and the good work we do. And then we're looking at ways that we can make sure that all populations of kids are included in our programming. So kids who might be thinking about their identity and who they are and how they want to be in the world feel really safe about coming to the Buddy program and getting a good mentor to work with them.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
I think the Buddy program, like I said at the beginning, one thing we want to make sure everybody knows is that our philosophy is that every kid can really benefit from a mentor. So it doesn't mean that that only one parent might live at home, and it doesn't mean that you speak a certain language or you don't. We really are inclusive of all kids in the program, and we want to make sure that kids in Aspen and Basalt and Carbondale know that, as well as their families. We want kids in Aspen to come sign up to be in our program, and we always need more adult big buddies. We find that in Aspen we get a lot of great big buddies, but when we get to Basalt and Carbondale, we need more. There's fewer people there who are able to volunteer at this level, and so we're always looking for more people in the Mid-Valley especially to step forward.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Again, I'm Jackson Wayne Caliham, and you've been watching the AMS show.
Thank you.
This is the AMS show.